Welcome to English Vertex Podcast.
Improve your vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation with our engaging lessons.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Vertex Podcast. I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Hey there, it's great to be back. Honestly, I need this episode myself because I still mix up a few words sometimes.
Wait, really? Which ones?
Don't judge me, but I still pause for a second between affect and effect every single time I write an email.
That's actually so common, and that's exactly why today's episode is going to be so helpful for everyone listening.
Today we're talking about confusing words in English. The pairs and groups of words that look similar, sound similar, or mean something close, but are actually used very differently.
By the end of this episode, you'll be able to tell these tricky words apart with confidence, and you'll know exactly which one to use in real conversations and writing.
While you're listening, think about the words that confuse you the most. Comment below and tell us which pair always gives you trouble.
And if you're new to English Vertex Podcast, welcome! Please like this episode and subscribe so you don't miss any future lessons.
All right, let's stop confusing ourselves and start clearing things up. Let's get into it.
Let's start with the words that confuse people simply because they look or sound almost identical. It's and its. Your and your. There, and there. The basic rule here is simple. Subject plus apostrophe usually means a contraction, not possession. Its means it is. Its shows possession, like the dog wagged its tail.
Let me give you some real examples. It's raining outside. The company changed its logo. You're doing great. I love your new haircut. They're coming over tonight. Their house is beautiful. The keys are over there.
These pairs are everywhere in daily writing, texting, and even casual conversation, so getting comfortable with them really pays off. Here's a personal example. I once texted a friend, "You're amazing," instead of "You're amazing," and she actually screenshotted it to tease me. That's such a classic mistake. Let's test each other. Daniel, quick question. Which one goes here? Blank, gonna be a long day.
It's gonna be a long day because we mean it is.
Perfect. Now, for our listeners, can you tell the difference between there and there in this sentence? Blank car is parked over blank. That would be their car is parked over there. There shows possession and there shows location. Exactly right. Now let's talk about a small variation. Sometimes people avoid contractions completely in formal writing, so instead of its, they simply write it is. Both are correct, just different levels of formality.
Good point. And in the negative form, remember it isn't or it's not both work, but it's not without any apostrophe placement is incorrect, since it's there needs to show possession, not a contraction.
Can you all try writing one sentence using your and one using your in the comments below? It really helps to practice actively, not just read. So, quick summary of this section. Its versus its is about possession versus contraction. Your versus your follows the same pattern. And there, and there depend on location, possession, and contraction. Get comfortable with these, and a huge chunk of common writing mistakes disappear. Now, let's build on that with a different kind of confusion. Words that don't look alike, but have meanings that are easy to mix up. Affect and effect. Accept and accept. Advice and advise. And borrow and lend.
Let's start with affect and effect. Affect is usually a verb, meaning to influence something. Effect is usually a noun, meaning the result of something. The weather can affect your mood. The effect of the weather was obvious.
Here's a real-life situation. Imagine you're talking to a doctor. You might say, "This medicine really affected me," describing the action. Or, "I noticed a strange effect after taking it," describing the result.
Let's demonstrate this with a quick dialogue. Emily, pretend you're describing a stressful week.
This project has really affected my sleep lately.
Yeah, stress can have a big effect on your body.
See how naturally those fit together? One's the action, one's the outcome.
Now, let's compare formal and informal usage with accept and accept. Accept means to agree to receive something. Accept means excluding something. In formal writing, you might say, "We accept all major credit cards, except American Express." In casual speech, it sounds exactly the same, just said more quickly.
Let's do a quick practice activity. I'll say a sentence, and you decide if it needs accept or accept. Your apology. Perfect. Here are 3 tips to remember these forever. First, advice is a noun, something you give or receive, like good advice. Second, advise is a verb, an action, like I advise you to rest. Third, notice the sound difference. Advice ends with a soft S sound. Advise ends with a Z sound.
That sound trick is honestly so useful. Let's also mention borrow and lend quickly. Borrow means to take something temporarily. Lend means to give something temporarily. Can I borrow your pen versus can you lend me your pen? Same situation, different point of view.
I really want you to write your own example sentences with these pairs in the comments. Seeing them in your own words helps them stick so much better.
To review this section, affect is the action. Effect is the result. Accept means to receive. Accept means to exclude. Advice is the noun. Advise is the verb. And borrow means to take. Lend means to give.
Now let's move to a third group. Everyday words people confuse constantly in daily conversation. Loose and lose, quiet and quite, farther and further, and economic and economical.
Let's start with loose and lose. Loose is an adjective describing something not tight, like these pants are loose. Lose is a verb meaning to misplace something or fail to win, like I always lose my keys.
A practical tip here for politeness and clarity: if you're speaking quickly and someone misunderstands, just slow down slightly on the vowel sound. Loose has a longer, softer S sound, while lose has a Z sound at the end.
Tone matters here too. If you say, "I'm gonna lose it," with frustration in your voice, it means you're about to get upset, not that you're literally losing an object. Context and tone change everything.
Now let's look at quiet and quite. Quiet describes low noise, like please be quiet. Quite means very or fairly, like that was quite impressive.
Here's a real-life practice situation. Imagine you're in a library and someone is talking loudly.
Excuse me, could you please be a little more quiet?
And later, describing the library itself, this place is quite peaceful actually. Perfect examples.
Let's try farther and further next. Farther refers to physical distance, like the store is farther than I thought. Further refers to additional degree or extent, like let's discuss this further.
And finally,
Economic and economical. Economic relates to the economy in general, like economic growth. Economical means something saves money, like this car is very economical. Let's do a quick interactive mini practice. Daniel, which word fits here? Buying in bulk is usually more economical because it saves money. And how about the government announced new policies?
Economic, since it's about the overall economy, not personal savings.
Exactly right. I really encourage you to say these sentences out loud a few times right now. Repeating them physically helps your brain connect the sound to the correct meaning.
So structurally, remember, loose and lose depend on sound and function. Quiet and quite depend on meaning. Farther and further depend on physical versus abstract distance. And economic versus economical depend on general versus personal financial context.
Okay, time to be honest with everyone. We've both made mistakes with these confusing words too, even after years of teaching English.
Oh, definitely. I once wrote in a report, "This will affect our results," instead of affect, and my manager gently corrected me in front of everyone. It was humbling.
That's such a classic mix-up. Let's go through a few more common errors. Mistake number 1, writing "it's a beautiful day" instead of "it's a beautiful day." People forget the apostrophe shows a contraction.
Mistake number 2, saying "I could care less," when the intended meaning is "I couldn't care less." Logically, this one causes real confusion about meaning, not just spelling.
Why does this happen? Often it's because we hear these phrases used incorrectly so often that they start to sound normal, even though the logic is actually reversed.
Mistake number 3, using less instead of fewer with countable nouns. Fewer people is correct, not less people, because you can count people individually.
And mistake number 4, confusing then and than. Then relates to time or sequence. Than is used for comparison. First we'll eat, then we'll leave. Versus this is better than that.
Let's do a quick correction game. I'll say something wrong, and Emily will fix it.
Ready when you are.
She is smarter than her brother.
Correct version, she is smarter than her brother.
It's raining again.
It's raining again.
This coffee is quite strong today.
This coffee is quite strong today.
Nice, you caught all 3 instantly.
Please remember, mixing up these words does not mean your English is bad. Even native speakers make these mistakes constantly, especially when typing quickly.
Exactly. The goal isn't perfection, it's awareness. Once you notice the pattern, correcting it becomes almost automatic over time.
Now let's move into our favorite part. Choose the correct sentence. I'll give you 2 options, and you decide which one is correct.
Situation 1. A. The medicine had a strong effect on me. B. The medicine had a strong effect on me.
B. The medicine had a strong effect on me.
Situation 2. A. I need your advice. B. I need your advise.
A. I need your advice.
Situation 3. A. Can I borrow your charger? B. Can I lend your charger?
A. Can I borrow your charger?
Situation 4. A. They're going to the party tonight. B. They're going to the party tonight.
B. They're going to the party tonight.
Situation 5. A. We need fewer meetings this week. B. We need less meetings this week.
A. We need fewer meetings this week, since meetings are countable.
And our final one, situation 6. A. This shirt feels quite loose. B. This shirt feels quite loose.
A. This shirt feels quite loose.
Excellent job. Now here's your challenge. Pick 3 confusing word pairs from today and create your own original sentences. Say them out loud right now, wherever you're listening.
You can also try adjusting the tone. Say one sentence casually, like you're texting a friend. Then say it again more formally, like you're writing an email to your boss. Remember, real conversation always matters more than flawless grammar. Even if you mix up a word occasionally, people will still understand you. Wow, we covered so many tricky words today. My brain actually feels clearer now, which is kind of ironic given the topic.
Let's quickly recap the 3 main groups we learned. First, words that look or sound alike, like it's and its, your and your, there and there.
Second, words with similar meanings, like affect and effect, accept and advice and advise. Third, everyday confusing words, like loose and lose, quiet and quite, and farther and further.
If you can start recognizing these patterns, your writing and speaking are going to become so much more accurate and confident.
And remember, confusing these words sometimes doesn't mean you're not fluent. It simply means you're human and you're actively learning.
Here's a question for you before we go. Which confusing word pair do you personally struggle with the most? Let us know in the comments. We really do read every single one.
And if this episode helped clear things up for you, please like it, share it with someone who's learning English, and subscribe to English Vertex podcast so you never miss an episode.
We put so much thought into making these lessons clear and practical, and your support genuinely keeps us motivated.
Keep practicing. Keep noticing these small differences, and don't stress about getting everything perfect right away.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us today.
See you next time.